Today we're going to talk about the meaning of life. Have you ever thought about the meaning of your life? Is it like being rich, or is it being famous, or maybe finding the love of your life? I don't know what's the meaning of your life. I'm going to tell you a little bit of the meaning of my life, okay?
Yeah, these are old shoes that I've been walking in. I'm wearing weary like it's a second skin. I've been looking for a place to lay my head. All this time like a vagabond, a homeless stranger, I've been wandering. All my life you've been calling me to home. You know I've been needing, I'm a broken stone. So lay me in the house you're building.
In this month, I finished watching two different series. One was American and another one was Korean. And like the main thing of the series was about suicide. This topic always touches my heart because I always think, oh my God, why would someone do something like that? So I started researching more about it, and I have some information to tell you before talking more about the meaning of life, that I think it's the main reason why people do something like that. Is because they don't know the meaning of their lives. They don't even, think about it. Three of the 5 countries that have the highest suicide rates are from Asia. 800,000 people die due to suicide every year. Suicide is the second leading cause of death among 15 to 29-year-olds. The rates here in the Philippines are that 6 male and 2 female die each year due to suicide here in the Philippines. So I'm gonna put the links of the researches that I made about it here in the description for you also to get to know more about that. But now let's talk about the meaning of life, because I really think that if people knew more about it, about the meaning of their own lives, they wouldn't do such thing. So how did I discover the meaning of my life? I always thought that someone should always, live their lives and, study, get in a good university and study well in the university to have a decent job afterwards. And then, find someone, get married, have kids, and that's our life, But I always thought, oh my God, okay, I'm gonna do that, but is it all? Is it everything that I have to live and then I will die and that's it? So I started thinking about it, and I started going also to church, but it was like in a different way. It was like natural. I started going to church, someone called me to go and everything, so I did go, and that's it. But then I had a huge experience with God, like getting really to know Him, getting to know Him as a friend, getting to know Him as someone that has always been with me. It's not just like, oh, God loves you, okay, I know that He loves me, but do I really have this experience in my life that God loves me? So that's what I had. And then I started being friends with God and started asking Him questions. Like those kinds of questions. It's because I'm a little bit of a philosopher sometimes. So I ask myself some questions, I ask other people some questions, and that's a main question that everyone should ask themselves. What's the meaning of my life? Why was I born? It was only to live like everyone lives, or is it to make some difference, and what kind of difference shall I make? So I asked him that in the year of 2012 he answered me. He told me that I was made to evangelize people, especially the youth and the poor. And it was when I had this feeling, and I was sure that I was called to consecrate my life in Shalom Catholic community, because this is our mission, to evangelize people. We want to be saints, and we want to tell other people that they can also be saints, or evangelize. The meaning of my life is to be a saint, and to tell others to be saints also, to tell others that is the reason of their happiness as well, not only mine, because I would be so selfish if I, had found true happiness, and didn't share to others. So that's what I do, share to others my happiness, share to others the fact that I found the meaning of my life. But you can still be thinking, oh my God, but do I have to be a missionary to be happy? Do I have to do what she did just because she says it's happiness? No, you don't. Actually, this is my way of being happy, because this is the will of God for my life. But you have to ask the same question to Jesus. You have to ask the same question to God. What's the meaning of my life? Why I was born? Why am I on earth? Because I couldn't have been born, like doing some philosophy. Do you think that all of the options that someone had to be with another person, but your father chose your mother to be together, and then you were born, So it's not like a simple thing, it's like a matter of will of God. I really believe that. And after that, He has a will for your life. And what do you have to do here? Since you are born, you have to ask Him what's His will for your life. Just do that. Just ask God, what's the meaning of my life? God, what should I do to be happy? And He'll answer you. But before you can hear Him, you have to have a closer relationship with Him. Like praying, like going to church, like going to Mass. It's not like you have to do this, but it's because you can only hear some person, hear his voice, if you actually want to talk to this person. And if you go to Mass, if you pray, if you do things to please God, you'll know that you actually want to hear His voice. Because like we see at the Bible, He knocks at our door, but only if we open it, He'll tell us what to do. So that's why I tell you, that's the advice that I can give you, is open the door to God, and He'll tell you how you are meant to be happy. I will keep on praying for people that have committed suicide, because I believe in the mercy of God, but I also keep on praying for people that think about doing something like that, for them to find the meaning of their lives. And I ask you also to pray for them, because it's a complicated matter. I know that involves like many things, but I really think that the main thing is this, not knowing the meaning of their lives. So let's pray for them, and let's find the meaning of our lives, okay? For us to be happy, for us to be saints, for us to go to heaven, to live eternity, because that's what we were meant to be, that's what we were meant to live, okay? And you can also subscribe in the channel, like I always tell you, and also like and share with your friends this video. And you can also see some things in the description that talks more about suicide rates, things here in Asia, because it's a difficult matter, and it's also a sad matter, so we really should pray more about it. Okay, so see you, bye.